Coming to first set, it's an easy one. Okay, there are four partners in a law firm. Each partner is an expert in at least one of the three fields: criminal law, okay, then workers' compensation and patent law. These are the only areas of law that the partners of the firm practice. Clear? Okay, and the partners are D, E, F, and H, as given in the question. D, E, F, and H. Okay, D and F both practice at least one of the same field. So D and F will have at least one field which is common. Okay. Now D practices in workers' compensation and patent law. So D practices in workers' compensation and patent law. Okay. Now F practices in only two fields. So F practices in only two fields. D and E do not practice in the same field. Okay. Now, if D also practices in criminal law, then where will E practice? D and E do not practice in the same field. So I can say that, okay, D do not practice in criminal law and E practices in criminal law because each partner is an expert in at least one of the three fields. So if D practices criminal law, then E should not practice the. So I can say that E do not practice workers' compensation and patents law. Okay, and D doesn't practice. D do not practice criminal law. No. F and H do not practice in the same field. Okay, so F practices in two fields. Okay, so they can be these two, yeah, or these two, or these. There are three possibilities. Okay, uh, yeah, three possible practices what F can practice. Now, if F practice these two, then H will be practicing this one. If F practices, okay, criminal law and patent law, then H will be practicing workers' compensation. Okay, and if F practices workers' compensation and patent law, then H will be practicing criminal. Okay, yes, yeah. Now, now which of the yeah? Now let's go to questions mark. Okay, which one of the following must be false? F practices in exactly two fields. Yes, it is given in the question. So this is true. So this cannot be our answer. H practices in exactly one field. Yes, if F practices in two fields, okay, and F and H do not practice in the same field, so H will be practicing in one field. D will be practicing one, E will be practicing in one, F will practice in two, and H will practice in one field. So this is also true. Okay, so this is not our answer. Clear? Yeah. No. E practices in more than one field. Now we got E is practicing in only one field. Okay, option C says that E practices in more than one field. This is false. So this should be our answer. Now let us check the remaining two. E practices in only one field. Yes, this is true. So this cannot be our answer. D practices in exactly two fields. Yes, so this is true. So this is not our answer. So the option will be C. Okay, then the people in which of the following pairs could practice in exactly the same number of fields. So we have D and F practicing who are experts in two fields, and E and H, okay, are experts in one field. D and H, no. E and F, no. D and E, no. E and H, yes. So we have E and H who are experts in exactly one field. Clear? So the answer should be option D. Okay. Now, if the combination of fields of F in which F practices is different from any of the combinations in which her colleagues practice, then which of the following must be true? So D is practicing Yeah, D is expert in two fields, workers' compensation and patent law. So we can say that F, F cannot have the same combination. So either F can be, okay, either F can be expert in criminal law and patent law, or criminal law, or yeah, let me change it, or criminal law or workers' compensation. Yes, he cannot be an expert in workers' compensation and patent law because the condition is given in the question. Now, if F is expert in criminal law and patent law, then H will be practicing workers' compensation. Okay. Now, if F is expert in criminal law and worker compensation, then H will be practicing patent law. Clear? Yes? No. No. Which of the following must be true? H do not practice patent law. So, in one case, H is practicing patent law. So, this is not must be true. That could be true, but not must be true. Now, F does not practice patent law. Okay, in this condition, in this case, we have F practicing patent law. So, this also not. H does not practice workers' compensation. We have, in one case, we have H performing workers' compensation. So, yeah, so we can say that this also not true. F practices criminal law. Okay, in one case, H F practices criminal law. Yes, in both these cases, we have F practicing criminal law. So the answer will be D. Yes, F and H practice in same fields. No, it is given in the question that F and H do not practice in the same field. So this is not our answer. So the answer will be D. If a new partner who practices in exactly two fields join the firm, then he cannot practice in all of the fields that the combination. Okay. Yeah. If a new partner who practices in exactly two fields, so we have other partner who practices in exactly two. Yeah. So we have one more partner, okay, who practices in exactly two fields join the firm. Then he cannot practice in all of the fields that the combination. Okay, if we consider D and F, okay, now I will remove these conditions because these are related to previous question. Now, can we have F practicing WC and PL? Yes. Yes. So D and F exactly two. So the other guy can also practice workers' compensation and patent law. Then E and H. So E is practicing one and H is practicing one. Yes. So he can also practice the one he is practicing and H is practicing if they are different. If they are different. Okay. Sorry. Now, now coming to E and F. Okay. We can have F as practicing criminal law and one among the workers' compensation and patent law. Okay, so we will get exactly two. Okay, in which the other person can also practice these two. Yes, D and H, the same. When you combine D and H, there is a possibility of you getting exactly two fields. So the guy, so the new partner can also practice this. Now, now coming to F and H. Okay, F practices in two areas, in two fields. Okay, and H practices in one field. You know that this one field is different from these two. Yes or no? If F is practicing CL and PL, then H will practice WC. If F practices WC and PL, then H will practice CL. So if F practices CL and WC, then H will be practicing PL. So, okay, if you consider yeah, the fields which F and H practice, you will get three fields, all the three fields, because they are exclusive. Yes, the fields that are practiced by F and H are exclusive. Okay, so new partner who will be practicing only exactly two fields, but if you consider both F and H, you will get three fields. So I can say that E should be our answer. Clear? Now this is relatively an easy one, guys. So coming to this set, second set. Okay, there are four guys. T, E, S, and N are a team of four mountaineers on an expedition. The team climbed four mountains. Okay, these first mountain, second mountain, third mountain, and fourth mountain. While climbing each mountain, the members of a team form a single file. Okay, single group. The person at the top of the file is called spiker. So, okay, when they trek further, there will be, okay, they will be following an order. Okay, 3 and 4. These four guys. Okay, the person at the top of the file, this is called spiker. Okay, second one, the second from the top is called the trekker. Okay, the third one is called breaker, and fourth one striker. Clear? So this is what the nomenclature is. Okay. Now, no person climbed two or more mountains at the same position. So if I consider, yeah, Sherpa, she was spiker in one, spiker in a trek for one mountain. She's a trekker for the other. Okay, she's breaker in one, and for the in the for the remaining mountain, she is striker. Yes. Now, further, the following information is known. Okay, neither T nor E was the spiker while climbing the first or fourth mountain. Okay, we have T, E, S, and N. Okay, neither T nor E was the spiker while climbing the first or fourth mountain. Clear? The team climbed the mountain on which N was the breaker before it climbed. Okay, climbed it before the mountain on which Sherpa was the breaker, but after it climbed the mountain on which E was the breaker. Okay. Okay. So now, if we consider the team in which N was the breaker, it climbed, yeah, it climbed the mountain in mountain before the team in which Sherpa was the breaker. Yes, and it, but after it climbed the mountain on which E is the breaker. Clear? The team climbed the mountain on which N was the breaker, climbed before it climbed the mountain on which S was the breaker, but after it climbed the mountain on which E was the breaker. Clear? So, the team in which E is the breaker, okay, climbed before the team in which S is the N was the breaker, before which the S was the breaker. Okay, these groups are breaker. Okay, I will write it here. So, breaker should be, E should be a breaker before N, and N should be a breaker before S. Clear? Now, Sherpa was the trekker while climbing the first mountain. So, S was the trekker while climbing the first mountain. Okay, then who can be the spiker? Okay, while climbing the first mountain, it is given that neither T nor E was the spiker while climbing the first mountain. So S cannot be a spiker because she is already yeah, she was already a trekker. So the only one left is N. Yes. So while climbing the first mountain, I can say that N was the spiker. Okay. Neither T nor E was the spiker while climbing first and fourth mountain. Okay. In fourth mountain, yes. So yeah, T or E cannot come here. Yes. While climbing the fourth mountain, it is given that T nor E was the spiker. Neither T nor E was the spiker, and N cannot be the spiker because, okay, uh, no person climbed two or more mountains at the same position. Already, N was the spiker while climbing the first mountain, so he cannot be the spiker while climbing the fourth mountain. So the only option left is S. Clear? So I can say that Sherpa was the spiker while climbing the fourth mountain. So either now we will be having two cases. Either T can be a spiker here. So T can be a spiker while climbing the second mountain, or E can be the spiker while climbing the second mountain. So if T comes here, E will come here. If T comes here, E. If E comes here, we will have T here. Okay, clear? Now, now coming to last, the team climbed the mountain on which T was the trekker. It climbed before the mountain on which N was the trekker. Okay, so this is trekker. So E was trekker before T. E, okay, and T was trekker before N. Clear? Now, now we will have two cases. So N, S, and S. Okay, we have two places for the spiker. So T here, T here, E here, E here. Yes, clear? Now, clear? Now, coming to these two conditions. Okay, E should be a breaker before N and before S. Yes, so in breaker, there should be two persons who are breakers after E. Yes, so E, so either I can say that in this case, E can come here or here. Yes, in this case, E can come only here because there should be two teams in which, yeah, N was a breaker and S was a breaker. Yes, so, so let me consider the second case. Okay, so E cannot come here. So I will consider E here. Yes, then N can come here or here. Okay, we have considered this one. So if N comes here, then S should come here. But S is spiker, okay, spiker in the file while climbing mountain number 4. So S cannot come here. So the only possibility is E here, N here, and S here. Clear? Clear? Yes or no? Yes. So in this, we will have two cases where E can come here or E can come here. Okay. Now, 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 we'll check this clue where E less than T less than N. Yes. Yes. So in this case, we have T here. Okay, ENS, we have breakers ENS, so the remaining should be T, and we should have T here because they are of different positions in the yeah, in the files while climbing different mountains. So T here, T here, T here. So T should be here. Yes. So S will be here. Clear? Now, now, now coming to this clue. E was trekker before T and before N. Yes, E was tracker before T and before N. If you consider this case, okay, now we have, so E can be tracker either here or here. Yes, either E can come here or here. If you consider this case, it is not satisfying this statement where E should be tracker before T, but we already have T in the second place and S in the first place. So E should be before T, okay, which is contradicting the statement. So I can say that this case is not valid. Clear? Yes or no? No. Now coming to this case, N, T, E, S, and S. Yes. Now coming to tracker, E should be before T and N. So the only possibility here is E, T, and N. Yes, E should be in tracker before T was a tracker and N was a tracker. So same E, T, and N. Okay. Now, now considering this, okay, there should be two persons who are wreckers after E. So E cannot come here. Okay, and so E will be here. Yes, so E will be a breaker while climbing the first mountain. Now, yes, if E is here, then E should be the striker in last mountain. Yes, so here we should have T. Okay, here we should have T. Okay, both will turn up to be the same case. Okay, now E less than N less than S. So N should follow E and S should follow N. Yes, so the remaining one here is S and N. So this is our final arrangement. So while climbing the first mountain, N was the spiker, S was the tracker, E was the wrecker, and T was the striker. Okay, while climbing the second mountain, T was the spiker, E was the tracker, N was the wrecker, and S was the striker. While climbing third mountain, E was the spiker, T was the tracker, S was the wrecker, and N was the striker. Okay, while climbing fourth mountain, S was the spiker, N was the tracker, T was the wrecker, and E was the striker. This arrangement, okay, satisfies all these clues given in the question. Now coming to question. Who was the striker while climbing the second mountain? Striker while climbing the second mountain, S. So answer should be C. Who was the wrecker while climbing the fourth mountain? Wrecker while climbing the fourth mountain. Yes, it should be T. Danny. So option A. Who was the spiker while climbing the third mountain? Spiker while climbing the third mountain. E. Edmund. So options will be C, A, and B. Yes, clear? Yeah. Thank you, guys.